Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Marijuana Solution, and I'm your host, Robert Roundtree. And today we have on two very special and important guests, Mr. Michael C. Minardi, the campaign manager for Regulate Florida, and Chris Sunshine Williams. He is a board member and director of Regulate Florida and co-author of the proposed constitutional amendment along with Michael Minardi. How are you guys doing today?
Excited.
The phone is smoking. It is smoking almost as much as you, Robert.
Oh my good Lord, you need to take that and get it checked out by a technician then.
It is very busy. Lots of emails, lots of text messages, lots of interviews. This I've never seen momentum like this before. The response to this petition is overwhelming, to say the least. I think people really are excited about this one for good reason.
And hopefully within the next week, everyone should be getting some petitions in the mail that either signed up on our page or part of our special list.
That's awesome. So Regulate's going to be sending out petitions by mail to people around the state?
We created a beautiful mailer that people are going to be getting. So they'll be seeing it in the mail shortly. Actually, my wife is working on taking some pictures and putting it out there so people can know what to expect when they see it.
Yes, and like Mike said, we have a massive direct mail campaign that has been planned, and we've got a very streamlined strategy, an aggressive campaign to get the signatures in time. This is a very coordinated effort, and luckily we've had our ducks in a row now. It took a little bit of planning and some legwork behind the scenes to get everything lined up, for launch, and to get the actual approval, from the Division of Elections to collect the signatures. And we immediately, upon receiving that, gave the green light, gave the thumbs up for the direct mail campaign. And we're actually sending out 2 petitions per direct mailer, and the postage is prepaid on them so that people can just easily sign, date, fill out all the required information, get it right back in the mail to us. And we are covering the postage for everyone so that we can ensure the highest return levels. I think that's really important.
Super important.
That's right. There's 233,000 about mailers plus a little extra going out, so maybe 234,000 with double that petitions on them. So we get those back from everybody, and we're like halfway to our million that we need to get on the ballot, just like that. So people out there who are getting them, who support cannabis, please do not delay. Sign, date, and return, and we'd greatly appreciate it. And in a year and a half from now, you'll be growing.
Let's grow together. For you, Michael, because I've received it a lot since the news broke recently about the new petition. And that's, what does someone have to do to qualify to be able to sign the petition? Is there like an age limit or anything like that? Can anyone sign it?
So yes, you have to be a Florida registered voter. So that's someone who's 18 plus. Anyone 18 plus who's a Florida registered voter can sign it. And that's all we need.
That's so awesome.
If you just moved here, because we know there's 1,000 a day about moving to Florida, get registered to vote so you can help us legalize it here.
Yeah, and I think you can do that like at the DMV office, and you got to get a license or ID once you move here.
Yes, you can. You can actually do it, I believe, right online as well, even if you've already gotten your license.
Oh, that's a good question. So you can register to vote online. Can you sign the petition online?
No, sir. You are not able to sign the petition online. We need an original copy of it. So even you can't sign it and print it out. You have to print it out, then sign it, preferably in blue or black ink, and send it in to us. We need original copies.
Okay, and where should they be sending it to?
Yep, they can send it to the Regulate Florida office, 2534 West Curtis Street, and that's Tampa, Florida, 33614. That's also the office of the law firm, and people can come by and pick up petitions and drop them off there, mostly any day from 2 to 6 or so. My assistant's there, or any other time if they coordinate specifically with me. But I'm there pretty much every day because of COVID. So,
Okay. And Chris, this is a question for you as one of the co-authors. I get a lot of questions in the comments under the posts that I've made, DMs, emails. What are the like key points about this proposed constitutional amendment? And is it the same as the previous one that Regulate did? Like, how does it differ?
Well, those are great questions. So it is an all-new petition for 2021, of course, with the aim of getting on the ballot in 2022. And this is primarily a Homegrow petition. I mean, in its purest form. And many advocates who have reached out to us, even some across, party lines, so to speak, who maybe did not support the previous, petition of Regulate Florida, they're in full support of this one. And, this is really focused in on giving all adults the right to grow their own, whether it be just for personal use for relaxation, because they enjoy growing a plant and they think it's beautiful, or because, maybe they're a patient, with an increased need for medicine and they can't afford to go to a dispensary and buy it, or, they want to have different strains, or make things at home from their own plants. This gives all adults the ability to do so. And that's really the centerpiece of this entire petition, is to free the plant and give everyone that right to grow. And as that's a core value of mine as a Floridian, as someone who was growing, illegally in Florida for many, many, many years, and grew up doing it, in the 90s. I've always had it in my heart. It's always been part of our goal to free the plant here, just like it says on the back of every one of our t-shirts. We've been hashtagging this for many years now. It's free the plant, and that has always been first and foremost for us. So if you read the full text of the petition, you'll notice that, this isn't about recreational sales. It's not about, business. This is literally a free the plant petition. So this is going to allow all adults in Florida, 21 plus, to grow 9 live plants per person, 18 per household. And you're going to be able to possess it. You're going to be able to use it. You're going to be able to transport it if need be, and, in personal amounts. And you're going to be able to produce whatever type of concentrates or whatever kind of edibles that you want from your own harvest. And, it's going to put that right back into our hands, which I believe in my heart, my personal belief is that it's a God-given right, and it's unfortunate that there has to be any type of limitation on plants, or on, what you can do or can't do with it. I mean, in a utopian society where there's, where there's not politicians and other interests involved, and we could just say, hey, everybody do whatever you want, grow as many as you want, no restrictions, no limits on anything. I mean, that would be great. Of course, we would all want that. The reality is we have to get 60% of the voters to support this. And that's an overwhelming, amount of people to vote on something. As you saw originally with Amendment 2, it fell short the first time that it was attempted to be passed here in the Sunshine State. And thereafter, the second time around, everyone figured out, like, hey, wow, if I want medical marijuana in Florida, if I want access, we want to legalize here for medical, we got to get out and vote, right? So it took everyone getting the signatures a second time. It took a lot of extra time and money. And then finally it got passed. As you know, it was 71.3%. It was groundbreaking. I mean, record-shattering numbers, the highest, I believe, at the time, if not maybe ever, for a medical marijuana amendment. And it passed with flying colors. I believe now, many years later, after we have a successful and very large medical market here, I think the demand is overwhelming for people who want to grow their own. And if they don't know how to do so, they want to at least be able to legally give it a shot, and give it a try. And I think that Homegrow is the great equalizer. I really do. I think that when you have a society and you give people that individual right to produce their own medicine at home, it's just a win-win all the way around. I mean, it's a win for society. It's a win for people. I think that, there's maybe some misunderstandings out there as far as, oh, well, wouldn't the companies be opposed to this? Wouldn't dispensaries be against it? And I really don't believe so, because, what you see in a state with prohibition, which we still are, Florida is a state with prohibition. You got doors getting kicked down. You got people being thrown in jail for a plant right now, and you got a lot of people that, for whatever reason, they either don't know how to get a medical card, right? Or they can't afford a medical card, and they may have to turn to other things, right? Maybe pills or maybe alcohol, for whatever their purposes are, whatever their personal purposes are for doing so. But I think that if they had the right and the option to use cannabis, right, and to grow it if need be, I think that what you'll see a society, and you'll see an environment where there's a higher adoption rate of this plant, right? Safe, effective, healing plant. And you'll see more people giving cannabis a try instead of using maybe dangerous addictive drugs, prescription drugs. You won't see as many people abusing opiates and benzos. You won't see such high alcoholism rates and abuse of alcohol, because you got a safe plant that's an alternative, which I think that everybody should have the legal right to use and to try and to grow. And it's just, it's a humanitarian effort for me. I mean, some people are surprised that we've supported it so strongly, and some people were even in disbelief, that we donated so much money, to kick off this campaign. But we're just getting started. This is a lifelong goal for me. This is something that I really, truly believe in and support. And I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm very blessed to be in this position to try to get this done in our home state. And we need everyone on board. We need all hands on deck. If you want adult use legalization here, you want to have the right to grow your own at home. You don't want people to be thrown in a cage or arrested for a plant. Then you need to get on board and support this. And we really, truly need all hands on deck.
Absolutely. And to touch on your answer to that question, I got one for you, Mike. Should only people that are wanting to grow sign this, or would this help all adults, say if they just use cannabis?
Yeah, number one, and exactly that sentiment. And fundamentally, the right to use cannabis should just be a privacy right that we all have. As long as you're using it peacefully, you're not causing any violence, you're not, under the influence and driving and causing accidents or anything of that nature. This is just a fundamental privacy right that we should be able to address, put this God-given plant into our body, number one, and especially grow it like we can grow our own fruits and vegetables. We're not relying on anybody. We can take care of ourselves. So to your question, Robert, it does. As Chris said, and I said it many times as well, it is the great equalizer. Just because I am not a woman and I don't necessarily get breast cancer doesn't mean I shouldn't support breast cancer research or breast cancer education for people, because it's just good for society, number one. This is something to stop arresting and persecuting people and wasting millions of tax dollars on arresting and persecuting 99.9% of the time good, hardworking people. That's number one. So, and number two, for everybody, generally, the availability in those people grow. Because realistically, you're right. In most states, only about 1 to 3% of that population that can grow actually cultivate. But it's the availability of it. So those people who do cultivate will have it for their own personal use. It'll have to make the market and those people that are patients, come down in prices somewhat, because some of these people will be supplementing and getting it from their home. So it's not a bad thing at all. And then hopefully our legislature will do the right thing and follow it up with business legislation to legalize it in stores and things of that nature. The reason why, and a huge reason why, as everyone knows, the Supreme Court was on a rampage with cannabis this year. They denied the Floor-Grown lawsuit. Then they came out and denied the MILF, the Make It Legal Florida petition, as unconstitutional. And then they hit our petition as unconstitutional. Even though we were the first to court, we were the last for a ruling. So, we wanted to make sure that we had an amendment that was tightly regulated in a way that the Supreme Court hopefully will not be able to strike it down. That's why we wrote it that way. Pretty much everything in the ballot summary and the title is in the amendments. I don't think it can be misleading in any way. So we believed home cultivation was the way to go because that puts the plant and the power into the people. And that's the most important thing, the power to the people.
And do you have to be somebody that's cultivating at home to legally possess personal use amounts, or will all adults be able to?
No, I mean, all adults 21 plus will be able to legally possess cannabis, use it, transport amounts reasonably indicative of personal use.
Right, right.
That's huge.
I want to be able to grow at home again. It's been many years. I mean, I used to get up in the morning. I would be so excited to take care of my plants, to water them, check on them, spend time with them, look at them, smell them. That's something that's so therapeutic and it's so healing for everyone. So when we were given this option of, hey, look, business and home grow and legalization, if this is all in one, like the previous version that the Supreme Court did not approve, we were kind of faced with this option. Do we want to make this about business and money and licensing, or do we want to make this about home grow and personal use? And obviously we chose home grow because we're people, we're advocates and activists that are fighting for the right to use and possess this plant. I mean, the business is always going to come second as far as I'm concerned. I'm an advocate first. And we do have medical, right? We have medical in this state, which is very important. It's a very good program. There's more licenses being issued. There's more patients than ever before. The prices are coming down. There's more products available than ever before. It's getting better and better and better, right? So we wanted to make sure, that we did not allow some of the things that have happened in other states where their medical programs are destroyed, right? And then all of a sudden patients don't have access anymore. And then all of a sudden people are having to pay taxes on their medicine because it's just recreational, right? We couldn't allow that to happen. And we talked about that. We thought about that, which is why this petition specifically preserves the medical program. It doesn't allow it to become damaged or thrown out or destroyed by the Florida legislature. I don't know if the listeners out there are aware, but when they implemented Amendment 2, they put in there, it's called Note 1A, and it's actually what we would refer to as a poison pill. And it says that if we were to change the law or add anything to that amendment, that within 6 months, they would basically dismantle the current licensing and the current medical program, and it could potentially be taken away entirely. We prevent that. We specifically prevent that so that we can protect and preserve all of our patients' access and make sure that they're able to continue to buy medical cannabis at dispensaries without having to pay taxes like you may have to do in a recreational scenario down the line. The fact that we preserve medical is just so important for people who maybe cannot grow at home, right? And they rely on certain products or home delivery, from dispensaries. And that's something that you really have to be mindful of when you're trying to change a law, you're trying to change the Constitution. You don't want to hurt the people that rely on the medical program. So that's one, that's really, really important. And then second, we could not address any type of licensing or business in this because it would be a complete, total violation of the single subject rule. And then we would never get on the ballot, and then people would never have the right to home grow. And we do believe this is probably our last opportunity to get home grow in Florida. There's actually an effort right now being made in Tallahassee to change the required vote percentage to over 66%. Right now it's 60, right? So for 2024, it looks like most likely there's going to be a requirement for it to be 66%, which is a very, very high level. I mean, it's already hard enough to get, 60% of people to agree on what color, the white ceiling is. If you ask everyone, hey, what color is the wall? What color is the ceiling? I mean, it's hard to get 60% of people to agree on something as simple as that, let alone agree on something like, home grow and legalization. So to raise the level up to, nearly 70%, it would just make it really an uphill battle. So I think that if you do want home grow, if you want that right in Florida, that constitutional right, remember, this is a constitutional right. This is something that can't be taken away. Once we vote this into law, we don't need the governor to sign off on it. We don't need anyone to give it a thumbs up and approve it. If we get this passed, it gets on the ballot, we get the votes required, which I'm very confident, the entire board is very confident we'll get 60%, especially right now in this, in this climate in Florida. We've got so many people rallying behind this and the right to grow and to free the plant. I think we'll have no problem getting 60% if we can get the signatures, get this on the ballot. But this may be the last opportunity for Florida and for Homegrow. This really may be the last time. And, the clock is ticking. And like I say, we need all hands on deck right now. I'm a homegrown Floridian that's been involved in activism and been an advocate my whole life and a believer in the power of the plant and in healing natural medicine. Not just cannabis, but other plants. And, I think that a plant-based lifestyle and plant-based medicine is definitely a step in the right direction for all of us, right?
We need everyone to get on board now and sign these petitions. They will hopefully be or are at all True Leaf stores throughout the state of Florida right now. We're working on getting other dispensaries throughout the state to have them in Florida. There's going to be at least a half a dozen head shops over here in Tampa. So if you own a head shop or a CBD shop or really any shop that wants to carry these petitions, please contact us. You can contact me at mminardi@regulateflorida.com. Go on to our webpage, regulateflorida.com, and contact us and volunteer. Sign up for our volunteer list, sign up for our email list, and learn how you can help, because that's really what we need. Everybody on board to help and get involved. The only way to make something happen is to actually do it. Nike didn't come up with that slogan for no reason. Just do it.
Amen. Yeah, just do it, guys. I mean, that's the answer here is all hands on deck. You guys can ponder it, can wait. I mean, we've got definitely an overwhelming amount of support rolling in, more than I've ever seen before for any efforts in the past. And I know that Mike's office already has signatures pouring in. I think you had sent me a picture the other day, Mike, of the huge stack of envelopes. And that was just after the campaign had been launched within a couple of days. So it looks to me like people are definitely, getting involved here. They believe in it. They're signing the petition. I know that we had a couple people that were making pledges to support this financially. And they had told me, before the weekend, they say, hey, let me look into it. Let me dig into it. Let me read it. Let me learn more. Let me find out more about it. Let me talk to my partners. Let me find out what's going on with this, because this is brand new, right? We just launched this. A lot of people, they're thinking, oh, hey, this is the old Regulate Florida petition, but it's not. It's brand new, and it is very much rooted in activism and advocacy, and it's about the plant. It's about the plant and legalizing adult use so that we don't have people who don't have access anymore, right, to it, and that we don't have people being thrown in jail for a plant. And if you believe in people being thrown in jail for a plant, then don't support it. Get online and say, hey, I don't support those guys. I don't sign it. And just know that you're supporting people being thrown in jail and being put in a cage for a plant. So, that's the choice here. I mean, it's a very, very black and white, yes or no. Do you want people to be able to grow? Do you want to have the right to grow at home? Or do you think people should be thrown in a cage for a plant? And that's the question you got to ask yourself here.
I'm pretty sure the last poll I saw, I forget who did it, but it was like maybe at 80 or above that for like medical, and then for, what people would call like recreational, like you see out in like California or Washington or Colorado, was really high in this state. And correct me if I'm wrong, but if just all patients signed the petition and got one other to sign it, that would be over 1 million, I think. I think we're over 500,000 patients in Florida right now.
We're over 600,000, sir. That would be over 1.2 million. You are absolutely correct.
Nice.
Well, and I think we can get the signatures, guys. I don't think that it's a question of can we get the signatures. It's just how soon can we get the signatures, because we have to have these, all turned in pretty much by the end of the year. I mean, we do have an ultimate deadline of February 1st, but the Division of Elections needs 30 days minimum to verify petitions, from when we turn them in. So, we're looking at really needing to get all these signatures collected by the very, very end of this year, by December 31st. And, we're in the very end of September right now. That gives us 3 full months, moving forward. And I know we already have probably thousands of signatures pouring in, and we do have some financial contributions coming in, in addition to the, the big $100,000 donation we made to the campaign to kick it off. And we have some, some really good news, I think, that hopefully we'll be able to share with everyone out there soon as far as, even bigger supporters coming on board. I can tell you that right now, if you go to any True Leaf store in the state, you can sign the petition. They immediately printed them out. They got them on clipboards. They're in all of their stores. I think 91 locations they're up to. And you can go sign that right now on any True Leaf. And if you have signed petitions, you can go drop them off at True Leaf. And they're assisting us with this because it's a massive, undertaking. But in a state with over 20 million residents, it sounds like a big number, right? To get, over 800,000 signatures from registered voters. But if everybody does their part, we can definitely get the signatures. It's not something that's not attainable. It's not too late. We're not out of time. Everyone just has to act now and not delay. And if you can donate, we need your money. We need money to change laws. This stuff doesn't happen for free. We have to pay for the postage of the return mail. We're sending out these prepaid petitions, and I believe postage now is 58 cents per petition. So, if we don't do them prepaid, most people don't have stamps these days. They're going to sit on somebody's table. It's going to be wasted money, wasted resources. Not going to mail it back in. So we went ahead and we thought about that ahead of time. We said, hey, let's cover it for people. Let's make it easy for them. It's prepaid. We don't get charged unless it gets mailed back in, but we still have to pay for that, right? We have to pay for that. We have to pay to print them. We have to pay to mail them out. We don't get paid as board members. We don't get salaries. We don't have a credit card for gas or lunch or anything. $0. There's $0 on the board members. I mean, it's literally 100%. If you donate $100, your $100 is going to go directly towards petition cost and to the cost of gathering signatures. It's a very lean campaign. We really don't have any expenses other than just the direct cost of getting these signatures. And if you can donate, right, you're listening to this, you want to be a hero, you want your name to go down in history, you want to be part of this, step up to the plate. Time is now. And like I said, this is probably going to be the last opportunity for Florida to have legal home grow. So if you want to free the plant in Florida, if you're bored, you got too much money, you don't know what to do with it, you're sitting on a yacht out there, you're listening to this on your laptop, you haven't been involved in activism and advocacy for a long time, nothing's got you excited for a long time, this is the campaign to be a part of. This is absolutely, the petition you take behind, because this is about home grow. It's about the rights and the freedom of the plant. And it's not about business. It's not about licensing. It's not about money. This is about giving people that right and creating that great equalizer here in the Sunshine State. And I think that once we do that, right, Florida is going to be a huge driving force in changing federal law. I do think that we are the domino in federal prohibition. I think that if Florida goes legal, for all adults 21 plus, and then we have home grow for all adults 21 plus, I would find it hard to believe that prohibition would continue to persist nationally, just because of, the amount of residents we have here and the influence we have, on the entire eastern, and southeastern part of the country. We're a big name, we're a big state, and we move mountains. We're usually like a driving force in elections. So, if we can get legal here, guys, we may see the entire prohibition topple. We may be that catalyst and that tip of the spear to change the laws in the whole country by doing this. That's my belief.
I can't really argue with you, because we're the third most populated state in the United States right now. And but just to follow up on what you're talking about for people donating, and I strongly believe everyone that even has, just $1 would help. That would pay almost for 2 return postages. You don't have to donate thousands of dollars. Every little bit helps. I believe most of the presidential winners over like the last few elections, they got a lot of money from people that donated, under $50 or under $30 or whatever. So where actually can people donate? What's the easiest way to do it?
They just go to our website, www.regulateflorida.com/donate, or the button is right on the front page of the webpage too. So it's really easy for people. Get it done quick. And, we're just using it, as Chris said, for getting this done, not for paying salaries, not for paying anybody at this point. Just getting these petitions in and getting it done. We do need some volunteers. People want to come out and help out. sorting and counting these petitions. Definitely need volunteers for that. People who care about this and have compassion for it, and don't necessarily need to see dollar signs from it. This is good for everybody. And in the long run, everyone who's involved in it will benefit financially as a result. That's just the bottom line, either from being able to grow their own, or this market going legal, or prices dropping in the dispensary as patients. Everyone benefits from this happening.
No, that's a big point. That's a huge point, Mike, because real estate prices are going to go up. The value of our homes, of property, is going to go up. We're going to see tourism increase here. We're going to see ancillary businesses benefit. Even just the local Home Depot or Lowe's, or Ace, hardware. I mean, all the garden supply stores, all the people selling LED lights, fertilizer. I mean, guys out there selling seeds from seed banks. I mean, you name it. All of the people orbiting this will benefit, right? So there's a huge collective value here for everyone. It's truly a win-win-win. And early on when we first launched this last week, there was some people online and they said, "Oh, well, the big business is going to be against that. And nobody's going to support this." And I said, "No," I said, "that's not true." I said, that's absolutely the opposite, because there's a lot of big businesses that aren't just cannabis companies, right? There's huge businesses that make tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year selling, say grow equipment, right? For instance, there's some really, really big companies out there that would benefit. And, I think that, we're looking at some numbers maybe historically, right? Of course, Homegrow is underreported, right? So if you got other states where we're saying, oh, it's 1%, 2%, 3%, right? Maybe 5% of the population, it's said to Homegrow, right? To actually do it. I think those numbers are probably much higher. There are a lot of people maybe just do it privately. They don't let anybody know. They don't answer polls. If they get a random phone call.
I think they're higher.
They probably
if people try to start maybe initially and then realize, I know there's a lot of those in states, but at least everyone will have the opportunity.
Right. The good news is it's Florida, right? So Florida historically, and Mike, we talked about this many times. There's a lot of growers in Florida. There's a lot of people who are already growing their own, right? There's a lot of people, and this helps them because they no longer have to worry about getting thrown in jail over a plant. They don't have to look out their window anymore. They don't have to be paranoid, going to the store to buy supplies or ordering something online for their garden, right? There's a lot of people listening to this right now who are growing, right? Let's not kid ourselves. There's people growing right now. There's lots of patients growing. That's just that's the reality, right? And I'm one of those guys. I'm rooted in reality, right? There's a lot of people who, they don't really pay attention to reality, and they don't have boots on the ground. I mean, I'm one of those people. I was a grower. I'm an advocate. I'm someone who has fought for this my whole life. I have dreams of legalizing the plant in Florida. It's a goal of mine. I can say that I lived a happy life and was fruitful if this is successful. I mean, this is really, really important to me, and this is going to save people a lot of stress and a lot of worry. People are going to be able to sleep a lot better at night, and I think that probably we're going to see a much higher rate of homegrown in Florida than maybe you've seen in any other state because of the climate here, right? Because the fact that you're allowed to grow this outdoors, right? Our specifically allows for you to grow outdoors in an enclosed structure, right? It needs to be locked. It needs to be out of the view of the public, right? Because we want it to be safe. We obviously are very focused in on protecting, the youth. We don't want anyone under 21 years of age to have access to it. So per the language of the initiative, it needs to be locked. It can't be accessible to the public or visible to the public, but you can grow in a locked greenhouse in your backyard, right? And we've got pretty much year-round sunshine here in Florida. That's why it's the Sunshine State. And I think that you'll see a lot of people who are able to grow their own medicine successfully. A lot of people who have experience here, who maybe were, growing many years ago, and, they got their card and they were like, hey, I don't have to do this anymore. And I don't have to buy anything on the black market anymore because now I got my medical card. I can go to the dispensaries, right? And they're going to finally be able to grow legally again. And hopefully, it's my hope, right? It's my hope and prayer that if we get this legal, that the Florida legislature will say, hey, we're going to give licenses to people to have seed banks. We're going to give licenses to people to sell clones. We're going to expand. We're going to offer horizontal licensing. That would be a dream come true. That's my hope. It may not happen right away, but I believe that it's inevitable. You're going to put them in a situation where we have Homegrow, we have legalized adult use, and I think that it's only fitting, right? I think that the belief of many people out there is, hey, we need increased licensing, right? We need more opportunity for small businesses. But I don't think that we're going to ever get that here or accomplish that if we don't get Homegrow legal first, and if we don't get adult use legal. So that's really crucial that we get this passed and that we get legalization here, and that we get the plant in the hands of people. I mean, that's just the bottom line here, is that it's the most important part of this puzzle. And leading to a better society all around, just leading to that decrease of incarceration. People have their lives ruined, their livelihoods taken away, they lose their jobs. I mean, families are torn apart by it. Pets, people's animals, the dog is shot by the police, when their houses are raided over a harmless plant that they're growing, in the back bedroom or closet. I mean, it's an atrocity that's been, it's a war that's been waged against people for too many years here. And I think it's time that it ends. We all feel that it's time that ends, and the time is upon us to free the plant.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better ourselves. And, even for people that may not, be one of those that would grow at home when it passes, or even use cannabis, it helps so many other things, such as it's going to reduce the wasted law enforcement dollars, incarcerating adults 21 up for having personal use cannabis. We'll have more money to put it to where it needs to go for law enforcement. There's just so many, downstream benefits from this. I mean, it's huge, and it does have to happen now. And I want to encourage everyone listening to immediately go to Regulate Florida, sign the petition, download it, print it, sign it, send it back. If you can't do that now, unlike, when we were working on the previous ballot initiative, there's a True Leave all over the state. What was it, 91, 92 stores now?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and you can go in there, turn it in. And if you can donate, definitely donate. If not, sign up to be a volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're hoping that the other dispensaries will carry the petition as well. I mean, obviously it goes without saying, we enjoy incredible support here, as one of the biggest, most well-known brands in Florida. Sunshine Cannabis was the very first brand in Florida. We actually existed before any of the MMTCs, any of the licensees came on board. And we were, we were very fortunate to form a partnership early on with True Leave, and, have our products in all the stores statewide, and people know what we're fighting for, and they do support us. And, I don't have to tell people to rush out and buy our products, because they already do. We have a hard enough time keeping it in stock now, because, we put out our products, they go pretty quickly. And, I know that True Leave enjoys a very fair, strong share of the market, but there's a lot of other dispensaries, right? You've got other big dispensaries out there. You've got lots of other locations of other companies. And we're hoping, right, it is absolutely our hope that everyone can kind of come together here, because we're all on the same side, I hope, for the plant and for the people and for Homegrow and for expanding, this adult use environment here and making it legal for everyone. So I would encourage, if you work for another dispensary, if you're the owner of another dispensary, if you're a license holder, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're hearing about what's going on with Regulate Florida, you're seeing it all over social media, you want to get involved, you're thinking to yourself like, hey, this is just a Sunshine and True Leave initiative, and Regulate Florida. No, this is a community initiative. This is a Florida initiative, and we want everybody on board. I mean, imagine the amount of petitions and the signatures that could be collected if some of these other dispensaries got on board and had it in their retail shops. Just imagine if even half of the other dispensaries stepped into the plate and got the petition signatures, how many more signatures that would add a day to the running total. I mean, we really need everyone to get on board here. So, if you're an advocate, if you're an activist, and you shop somewhere else, right? That's fine. Ask them if they support Regulate Florida. find out. We really need this conversation to happen rapidly, though. You know, there's probably still other people in the state who really don't even know what this petition is about. You know, they hear Regulate Florida, they think, you know, they think it's a business thing. They think of all these strict regulations and rules, but it's really not. This is a very simple, streamlined petition. It's about home grow rights. It's about legalizing adult use. It protects the medical market, right? It protects the patient's access so that that doesn't get hurt and taken away. Again, I'll reiterate, there has been other states where the medical program is done away with and is harmed by, you know, quote unquote rec. And then you got, you know, medical patients that may be paying taxes for their medicine. That's not going to happen here. That's not going to happen. We ensured that the medical program will not be harmed so that people will still be able to buy their medicine, have the access, and it will not be impacted by this. And it specifically says that if you read the petition itself, it actually specifically says that in the summary, as required by, you know, by state law. And we do reflect that. And you can even read the full text if you go to regulateflorida.com/petition. There's an option to read the full text. It's not that long. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but it talks about, you know, what this allows. And it's basically home grow with the right of all adults to use it, because you can't have home grow if you can't legally possess it and use it, right? And that's why, you know, some people are a little confused. They're like, well, isn't adult use recreational? And no, it's not, right? Recreational is where it's a business thing, and, you know, it would be about retail and stores and allowing the licenses to sell this. That's not what this does, right? There's nothing in this petition about retail sales or recreational. It's not included in any way, shape, or form, but it doesn't prevent that, right? It doesn't mean that down the line, the Florida legislature can't give access to people to buy at retail, right? Because not everybody wants to grow, obviously. But, you know, our vision and our intentions, obviously, here are for this market to be opened up. I do want to see horizontal licensing in the future. I would like to get one myself, you know, for grow. As I've stated many times publicly, I mean, I post online all the time. You know, sometimes confusion and people think, you know, oh, hey, you're big business, you know, you got a license. No, we don't have a license, right? We're a brand partner with what I consider to be the best dispensary in Florida, the biggest. You know, it was important to us to be in business with someone who supported home grow, right? And we're Floridians, and we're part of an organization that's run by Floridians. And they stepped up. They stepped up to the plate big. They got the petitions printed out the very first week. They're in all True Lead stores right now. And I truly, and Mike, I know that Mike shares a sentiment, and Karen Goldstein, who is also an integral part and the co-chair of Regulate Florida, we want everybody to come together here and get this done for Florida. And then all the competitive stuff and the, you know, my brand versus your brand and buy our stuff, not there, you know, that can all wait till later, right? That's a different place, a different time, a different environment. We need everyone to literally come together for the plan here. And we hope that we can have an open conversation and everyone can come to the table, and that these other big dispensaries will support Regulate Florida and give back to the community, right? And, you know, specifically, there are other companies, there's other CEOs out there, there's other, you know, license holders who have pledged their support, who have said publicly, hey, we support you guys. We're going to give you money. We believe in this, right? And so far, you know, we haven't seen them step up. Now, granted, it's just the first week of the campaign, but I know that we're getting a lot of questions, you know, from concerned patients and from advocates, and they're saying, hey, I saw this video where so-and-so said, oh, they supported you and they were going to donate and they were going to be behind, you know, the new initiative. Are they supporting it? And, you know, our answer is, you know, hey, that's to be seen. You know, that's to be seen, but we're very early in this campaign. We have enough time to get the signatures. We need everyone to do their part to step up, and I need everyone out there asking those important questions. If you don't, you know, if you don't shop at True Leaf, if you're not a Sunshine Cannabis, you know, patient, that's fine. But make sure that where you do go, and make sure where you're putting your hard-earned dollars, that they're supporting this initiative. And if they don't support this initiative, and if they don't step up and give back to the people and give back to Florida and help us get this passed, you got to really ask yourself, why am I doing business with these people? And I always tell people, vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars, because you see what we did. We put $100,000 into this right off the bat, and that money's in account. That money's going to pay, you know, not entirely for the first round of direct petitions going out in the mail, because it's a lot more than that, but it's paying for the lion's share of them. and we need more money. You know, we do need more money. We need other people who have, you know, a lot more money than I do to step up, to give something. You know, if you can't give, if you're a business owner, if you're a license holder, can you match us? You know, can you put in $100,000? Can you put in $50,000? Can you put in $20,000? Because that money, it's going to make a difference, and it's going to get signatures, and people will know that you supported this campaign. I think that, you know, there's going to be a lot of eyes on who supports this and who doesn't support this, because this is going to really separate the doers from the talkers, and you're going to find out, you will find out once and for all who's full of it and who really believes in Homegrow, because this is kind of this is the intersection here. Like, we're in the intersection, and you can take a left or take a right. And we've chosen which direction we're going. We made a right? We made a right turn. It's the right thing to do. And to give back to the people of Florida, we've been very fortunate. You know, like I said, I'm blessed. We're very lucky to have entered into a partnership and become a brand partner of Trulieve. We're very blessed. It was a 1 in a million, you know, opportunity. You know, a lucky star shined on us, and we are forever grateful and thankful. And I just hope that other people out there who have been successful in this market, who are in Florida doing business, even if you're not from Florida, you know, you're coming into Florida. We got some big brands coming from out west, right? And everyone's rooting and cheering for these guys. I mean, we're the home team, obviously. We have incredible support, but at the same time, you got people cheering for the new guys from over there, you know, from the other side. Are they going to step up? Are they going to support Homegrow in Florida? Or do they not want Homegrow? Questions that we don't necessarily know the answers to yet, right? And we're hoping that they're going to stick to their guns. Got a lot of people out there saying, I support this, I support Homegrow, we believe in this, but will they put their money where their mouth is? And that's the question we need to be asking. Will they put their money where their mouth is? And if they don't, then at least you know, and you know how to vote with your dollars. So that's my message is, let's get that conversation rolling. Let's start asking questions, and hopefully your dispensary, you know, your favorite brand, will support this and will step up. And if everybody chips in, we're going to get this done. You know, we're going to get this done. We absolutely can hit our targets. We've plotted out the timeline and how many signatures we need, and collect them all around Florida. We absolutely, positively can get this done. We're confident that this petition will stand up to that very, you know, important standard of single subject, the single subject requirement. And I don't know anyone, you know, that I've met that really supports this plant, you know, and believes in cannabis. I don't know anyone that said, no, we don't want Homegrow. You know, like I said before, if you don't want to support this, and if you're talking down on this, or if you're telling people don't support this, then, you know, what you're essentially saying is, I think people should be thrown in jail for a plant and arrested for growing, because that's what this is all about. This entire petition is about that right to grow and to put the plant back in the hands of the people. As we've been saying for many, many years, free the plant.
Couldn't have said it better myself, brother. Excuse me. It's definitely time to free the plant. And, you know, the answer to will the other MMTCs be supporting it, that's one that we're going to find out here soon. So
yeah, it's a big question. Big question.
So
awesome.
Anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, in closing, you know, we obviously appreciate all the support. There's been an outpouring of positivity about this petition. You know, we're seeing a lot of small donations coming in. We're seeing a lot of people are already printing out the petition and mailing it in, or dropping off, you know, the signed petitions at their local Trulieve. We will have printed petitions very, very soon. We ordered about 50,000 printed petitions, which Michael Minardi will be distributing from his law office in Tampa. And we're going to be pounding the pavement. We got boots on the ground. We're dedicated to this. We're committed to free the plant, just like it says on the back of every T-shirt of ours, every Sunshine Cannabis shirt. On the back, it says "Free the Plant." You know, this is something that we believe in with every fiber, every thread of our being. You know, every drop of my humanity is behind this. And I love this plant. I love my home state of Florida, and we have to free the plant so that people can grow once and for all. And we can let the business people figure out, you know, the rest of it and the licensing and all of that. That's nothing to do with this campaign. That's not in this initiative. You know, if you got business people out there who want to put together another initiative and they want to change the licensing structure, they want to change the laws, they want more, you know, licenses, unlimited licenses, whatever it may be. That's fine. You know, I obviously want my own license, but this petition is about Homegrow and is about adult use, and it's about giving people that great equalizer and that choice to choose cannabis and not be oppressed and persecuted for it and thrown in a cage over a plant. So that's my message to everyone out there. Make sure that you do the right thing. Support us in our mission to free the plant. And if you see people out there that are being negative, or they didn't read the petition, maybe they, misunderstand, or they read, something else somewhere, somebody said, you still got people out there working who don't necessarily share, the same missions and same goals. And, we need our community to come together. We definitely don't want any division. We want people to read this petition, to support it, all get behind it, spread the word, do your part. We need all hands on deck. If you're an adult in Florida and you want to be able to grow your own plants at home legally and not have to worry about being arrested or getting your door kicked down in the middle of the night, this is the petition that's going to do it. It's free the plant. We want it on the ballot for 2022. I'm Chris Sunshine of Sunshine Cannabis, and we love and we support you, Florida, and hopefully we can get this done together.
Absolutely. We got to free the plant. And the only way we can do it is together. So everybody listening, go to regulateflorida.com, download that petition, print it and sign it, send it back to the address Minardi gave you earlier. It will also be in the description of the podcast that you're listening to right now. So scroll down there, you can click on it. And if you can't send it back in, then go ahead and turn it into a local TrueLeave. You can find their locations, if you don't already know, at trueleave.com. And you can also, I believe, Michael said the last time I spoke to him, you can go and sign up on the website to have one mailed to you. Yes.
And we're going to continue our efforts with the direct mail petitions. We got the first wave going out, and we're very anxious to see, the return rates and the return levels. We obviously need to pay for more. We need everyone to step up. We need contributions. We need people to, put their money where their mouth is. And hopefully we can get this done for Florida, and we can have a better future for everyone in the Sunshine State. But, it's going to take money. It takes big money to change laws. And we need everyone to come together, all brands, all companies, all advocates, blue, red, yellow, purple, green. It doesn't matter what your party is. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter, your religion. We need everyone to come together for a common purpose and a common goal that is to benefit all people in Florida. And it will have far-reaching effects, I believe, beyond Florida. And like I said, I think we can be the domino that finally, knocks down federal prohibition. This is a very, very important campaign. The stakes could not be higher, and the time to act is now, So definitely get to regulateflorida.com, make a donation. You can click, you can donate by PayPal. It's very simple, takes a minute or two. You don't have to give a lot. But if you do want to make a larger contribution, feel free to reach out to myself or to Michael Minardi directly. You can send a check-in to the campaign office, made out to Sensible, Florida. And if you want to send a wire, we get you wire instructions. We do continue, want to continue to support this financially. I'm going to do everything in my power to put in as much as possible, while still keeping a roof over my head and food on the table. So, we've done our part, and now it's just time for everybody to step up and do their part.
And we'll free the plant. Quick.
Free the plant, brother.
Do it.
All right. Thanks, guys. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. And thanks, Robert, for all your hard work and activism. I mean, I know we've been working together on this stuff for a very long time. It's 2013. And, it's not our first rodeo.
Yeah, I feel real strongly about it. And I think we're going to get it done this time, brother.
Let's get involved. Don't sit back. Don't be idle. Don't watch from the bleachers. We need all hands on deck to free the plant.
Couldn't have said it better myself, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure and an honor to speak with you. And just keep on fighting a good fight, brother. We're going to do it this time. I feel good about it. Real good.
I feel good too, man. I feel good too. Thanks for your time today, Robert.
You are so very welcome, Mr. Chris Sunshine.
Thank you very much, Robert, for having us on. It is greatly appreciated to get the word out about what Regulate Florida is doing and what our petition can do for the people. I can tell everyone that this board that has been working on this for so long and that has been working on this petition wants nothing more than to benefit for the people. This is something that we care about deeply and personally and believe in. We want this for the people. And we understand that it doesn't allow us to have unlimited cannabis, but that is so that we can get it passed. Limitations in this state at this point in time need to be included in order to pass that 60% threshold. We're really excited to get this done, and with your help, we can. Join us now at regulateflorida.com.